We should probably start from the very, very beginning. Like, a lot of people are going to be finding you guys, and they're showing their parents, and they're going to want to know all about your family. I've seen some of your guys' fans, and the amount of information that they have on everything you guys have ever done is wild. But let's just start from the beginning, before the days that Charlie was everywhere on the For You page. Do you remember like how things first exploded?
A little bit over a year ago, my friends started asking me to do TikTok dances with them. And being a dancer, I could learn the dances fairly quickly and then teach it to them. And then eventually I made my own account, and I started posting videos. Now we're here, I guess. I don't know, it's just like they started to blow up. And
would you remember the first one that blew up?
yeah, the one that went like very viral was a duet with a woman named Move With Joy, and it was an easy dance, and I did it on the way to a dance camp, like right before I left home, and then for a dance camp, and I drove an hour and a half with my mom, and the notifications just kept coming in.
There's something so weird about those notifications. Like, I mean, you start seeing those notifications and you kind of get like addicted to them, right?
I mean, at the time when it was all happening, I just was really like nervous. I was like, I don't know what I did or why this is happening, but okay. Like, it was more stressful because I was like, what did I do? But everyone seemed to be very positive in the comments, and I just kind of went with it.
Do you guys remember the first time you saw Charlie get recognized?
Yes. We just noticed this little girl looking at her like, oh my gosh.
When we were in the restaurant, and there was the window and the sidewalk, and like her and her family walked by, and then they came back and they were like, so I was like, what are they looking at? There's no way. We're too far from home, like, right. No way. And then she DM'd her, and we're like, what is happening?
When you first started seeing her blow up, I mean, you're her older sister, like, was it annoying?
I was embarrassed.
You're embarrassed that she was...
I was very embarrassed because, like, she would do videos and I was like, oh, this is so cringy, because TikTok was always considered cringy.
Right.
And then I got annoyed because it's all my family was talking about. And then I was like, you know what, I'll just do it myself. And so I started.
And I remember there were a couple of videos where you pop in on hers and you guys look a lot alike, and it just seemed like everybody lost their mind. But, like, you still can't dance.
Yeah.
At all. Yeah. And it's been like 8-9 months.
Yeah. No, I've gotten a few. It does take multiple days to learn. But yeah, still being one of the top creators on the app cannot do the main thing people do on the app. So
as a big sister, what was it like seeing so many people commenting on Charlie?
It was very annoying at first, just because I wanted to go back at every single person and just be like, shut up, you're so stupid.
I actually remember you did. Like, you would go pretty wild in comments at first.
Yes. Now I don't comment back to anyone, but at first it was very hard not to.
No, I looked back
anything.
at some of the comments of those saved videos, and I attacked some of those people. I was like, why would you even say this? Like, you know, I'm a person, I have feelings. Like, I don't understand why you do this. I would get so defensive. And then they'd make another video being like, haha, Charlie commented on my post, you loser. I'm like, okay.
Well, we live in a day and age where, like, people are using your guys' last name for clout. And a lot of that comes with bullying of almost like the entire family. Mark, like, how do you deal with that?
It's tough, man. It's really, anybody that's a parent out there understands when their kids are attacked, it's your instinct to just attack back, and it's hard. And I'm sure people look at me like, oh my God, why isn't that dad saying anything about it? But once you open up that can of worms, it escalates, and it's not worth it. So.
What about just not letting them be on the app? I mean, was that ever a possibility?
Yeah, just yesterday.
Not from hate, just from like school and like not focusing on other stuff. I mean, there's like, what are you gonna do? It's still gonna be there if we're not on the app. Like, might as well just have fun and while we're doing it.
When you saw your girls just dealing with what looked like every high schooler in America having an opinion on them, as a mom, what do you do?
I did the same thing they did, and I clapped back a little bit online, but we've come a long way.
And it's like, how do you not defend yourself when people are trying to bring you down? Yeah, people are saying positive things, people are hyping you up, people are complimenting you, but it's like, that's not what your eye goes to. It goes to when people say what's wrong about you. And it's like, sometimes it's things that you just can't fix, and it's things that you can't control, but I mean, it hurts worse. You can get a million positive comments, but those 5 really negative ones, they hurt.
What were the ones that really hit home for you?
I think it was the ones probably about my body. Because, I mean, growing up a dancer, like, if you don't look the part and you're too tall, too short, too skinny, too fat, too muscular, that was my problem. I was too muscular. So I wasn't a ballerina. I couldn't be. Because that's what they would tell me, and I believed it. So hearing that from hundreds of people online, like, it hurts.
During those days, did Charlie talk to you guys about what she was going through?
She tends to just close off and go in her room and doesn't want to talk and cry.
What do you say, right? It's like, you know, we could say, hey, you know, we have perspective from being older, so we know that middle school drama, high school drama, college drama, work drama, there's drama everywhere, and life is great, and it's always going to go on. But basically, all we're telling our kids is don't pay attention to it. There's not much more you can do than that, and it doesn't do the trick most of the time.
Hard not to pay attention to it when you have more followers than like the population of England and like Australia, and you've got everybody in the country with their eyes on your family.
If you have followers, you're not considered a person. You're just a thing that people get to judge and objectify and call names and bully, because what are they going to do? Most of the time, they're not going to see it. Or I'll say something back, I never thought you were going to see it. So it's like they don't expect it to hurt us, but like, we all do.
And you're still living a teenage life. You're still making mistakes like we all did as a teenager. Do you stress about that? Are you like worried that everything you do is going to hit the internet?
Definitely.
Like you guys have paparazzi following you now, right?
Yeah, I mean, you always have to worry that something from when you were 10 is going to get taken out of context, or something that you might regret every single day of your life is put on the internet and you have to relive it. They don't really care what you have to say. They don't care if you apologize. They don't care if you're truly sorry. They just want to make you feel bad.
When your daughters are coming to you with something that they might have done wrong, but is something that the world has already seen, like what goes through your mind?
I just support. They're gonna feel it more than most, and the last thing they need is their parents down their back about it. Support. We got it. Don't worry about it. We love you.
What about for decisions that they're making today?
That's different.
Like what?
No,
Well,
I
Like your
all the
petition
earrings.
for the WAP dance?
Oh. I love Cardi B. I love Megan Thee Stallion. The dance that was made up to that audio.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
For me, I don't want my 16-year-old doing that on the internet. She did do it. She didn't post it, but she did it. And she wanted to learn the choreography, and she did it really well.
Really good.
It really was.
so one of the things that you guys get flamed for all the time is like the sexually suggested lyrics and things that are too racy, and the fact that you have a lot of 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 12-year-olds that follow you guys and see you as role models. How do those conversations work? Does Charlie just post something, or do you guys talk about it beforehand, or is it a nice little family dinner discussion?
She'll come to us and say, should I post this? What do you think? Should I post it? I don't know. I'm nervous. Should I post it? I'm like, if you're feeling that, you have your own answer. Like, because once it's out there, and then you can't take it back. So if you're having those feelings already and you haven't posted it, then you shouldn't do it.
Charlie,
And then there's something she posts, and I'm like, you didn't. And she just does it. And some things we make her take down, but for the most part, she has good judgment.
the stuff that you got into as a teenager compared to the stuff that you see your daughters getting into, how does it compare?
It's not even close to what happened when we were kids, and that's why people may look at us sometimes and think we turn a blind eye. I'm just like, it's under a microscope. If every parent that's looking at Heidi and I and saying, how could you let that, like, let's open up your middle school life to the public and your high school life to the public. It's just everybody there's definitely, my kids have not done anything that I'm ashamed of, that I'm embarrassed by.
What's been your proudest moment where you saw your girls and you're like, all right, they're on the right track?
You know, I think that for Dixie, when she started a new school, she was always fearless. But seeing her high school come back and graduation was huge. With Charlie, it's seeing her handle this, and I'd like, you know, there's the part of me, the ego, that wants to take credit for her poise and grace and stuff. She's what you see. I'm sure there's some influence by probably more Heidi than myself. There were times that I would question how she handles a certain situation, and she gets it right 99.9% of the time.